Somewhere in your neighborhood right now, there is probably a plant growing that most people completely ignore. It is not expensive. It is not exotic. In some countries, people eat it the same way you eat spinach or kale, just part of a normal Tuesday dinner. But here is the thing. That same plant has been studied for what it may do to blood sugar levels and the health of your arteries, two of the biggest health concerns people face after the age of 60. And most people in the Western world have never even heard of it. Today, you are going to learn about it. We are going to talk about what it is, what it contains, what the research actually says, what it costs, and how to use it. Plain and simple. No complicated words, no hype, just information you can actually use. Now, before we reveal the name, I need to be clear. This plant is biologically active. It actually does things to your body chemistry. So, if you are currently taking medication for diabetes or blood pressure, you need to treat this like a real tool, not a toy. Talk to your doctor before adding it because it is strong enough to matter. Now, let's get into it. Here is something that a lot of people do not fully understand, and it is worth taking a minute to really think about. After 60, your body quietly starts doing something that can work against you, and it happens so gradually that most people do not notice until it becomes a real problem. Your body has been handling sugar since the day you were born. Every time you eat something bread, rice, fruit, a cracker, even a glass of orange juice, your body breaks that food down into a simple sugar. That sugar enters your blood. Your body then sends out a signal to move that sugar from your blood into your cells, where it gets burned as energy. When this system works well, you feel fine. Energy is steady. Your body runs smoothly. But here is where the tension comes in. As people get older, that system starts to lose its efficiency. The signal your body sends gets weaker. The cells stop responding as quickly. Sugar starts to linger in the blood longer than it should. And here is why that matters a lot. When sugar stays too high in the blood for too long, it does not just sit there harmlessly. It starts to cause damage. Tiny damage, slow damage. The kind of damage that builds up over years without you feeling it until one day you do. That damage happens in your kidneys, in your nerve endings, in your eyes, and most seriously, inside your arteries, the tubes that carry blood from your heart to every part of your body. Think about what healthy arteries look like. They are smooth on the inside, flexible, wide enough for blood to move through freely with very little effort from the heart. Now think about what happens when something goes wrong with them. The walls get rough, stiff, narrow. The heart has to push harder to move the same amount of blood. Pressure builds, and the risk of something going seriously wrong starts to climb. This is not a rare situation. This is the health reality for tens of millions of people over 60. So right now, maybe you are watching this because you already know your blood sugar is running a little high. Or your doctor has mentioned your arteries. Or you just want to take better care of yourself before things get harder to manage. Whatever the reason, stay with me. Because the next part is where we get to what might actually help. The leaf we are talking about today is called moringa. Its full scientific name is Moringa Oleifera, but most people just call it moringa. Some call it the drumstick tree because the seed pods look like long green drumsticks hanging from the branches. In parts of India, Africa, and Southeast Asia, people call it something even simpler than that. They just call it food. And that matters, because moringa is not some exotic laboratory compound. It is not a synthetic pill. It is a tree, a real plant that people have been eating for hundreds of years, boiling the leaves in soups, stirring the powder into meals, drinking it in warm tea in the morning. Now, here is what makes moringa interesting from a health perspective. Moringa leaves are loaded with nutrients. 1 cup of fresh moringa leaves contains roughly the same amount of potassium as a banana. It has calcium, iron, vitamin A, vitamin C, and a meaningful amount of plant-based protein. That alone makes it a nutritious food worth knowing about. But the more interesting part is what else is inside those leaves. Moringa leaves contain more than 90 active plant compounds, natural chemicals the plant produces on its own. Some of the key ones are quercetin, chlorogenic acid, and isothiocyanates. Those are long words, so here is the plain version. These are natural substances that seem to have a positive effect on how the body manages sugar and how the blood vessels work. And that is what brings us to the research. Researchers have been studying moringa for years. Most of the early studies used animals. In those animal studies, more than 90% showed that moringa helped bring blood sugar levels down. That is a very consistent result across a large number of experiments. Then researchers started doing studies on people. Out of 7 human studies reviewed in one published analysis, 5 of them found that moringa helped lower blood sugar levels in people with diabetes. That is not 100%. Research is honest about that. But 5 out of 7 is still an encouraging number, especially for something you can buy for under 25 cents a serving. One study found that people who took moringa leaf powder daily for 3 months, alongside their regular medication, saw improvement in a key blood sugar marker called hemoglobin A1C, the test that tells doctors how your blood sugar has been behaving over time, not just at the moment of the test. Another study found that eating moringa with a meal may help reduce the sharp rise in blood sugar that often happens after eating. For people managing blood sugar, that post-meal spike is one of the hardest things to control. The idea that a leaf in your food might soften that spike that is meaningful. So how might this work? The plant compounds in moringa seem to slow down how fast the gut absorbs sugar from food. They may also help the body use insulin more effectively. And they may help the liver better control how much sugar it releases into the blood on its own. That is a lot of potential support coming from one small green leaf. And the artery side of this story is just as interesting. Remember what we said about the damage that happens to blood vessel walls? A big part of that damage comes from something called oxidative stress, basically, harmful molecules floating around in the body that slowly wear down the cells that line your arteries. Moringa leaves are rich in antioxidants. Antioxidants are the body's natural defense against those harmful molecules. They neutralize them before the damage can set in. The antioxidants in moringa, including quercetin and vitamin C, seem to help protect the inner lining of blood vessels from that kind of slow, silent damage. There is also something in moringa, those isothiocyanates we mentioned, that seems to help the body produce more of a natural substance called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide helps blood vessels relax and widen. When your blood vessels are relaxed, blood can flow more freely. The heart does not have to work as hard. Pressure goes down. And then there is the potassium and magnesium content in moringa. Potassium helps balance sodium in the body, and most people over 60 carry more sodium than is good for their blood pressure. Magnesium helps the muscles of the heart and blood vessels work smoothly and efficiently. So for your arteries, moringa may be working from several directions at once, protecting the walls from damage, helping the vessels relax and stay flexible, supporting the minerals your heart and circulatory system need. That is a meaningful combination for anyone over 60 who is thinking seriously about their long-term health. Now here is where we have to slow down and be honest, because this is not a perfect story. You might be thinking, if moringa is this helpful, why has no one ever told me about it before? Why is it not on every doctor's prescription pad? That is a fair question. And the honest answer is this: the research is promising, but it is not complete. Most of the strong evidence comes from animal studies. The human studies are encouraging, but researchers themselves say we need more of them, bigger ones, longer ones, done in more diverse populations before anyone can say with full confidence exactly how much moringa helps and for whom. Moringa is not a cure. It is not a replacement for your medication. It is not going to fix a serious health problem on its own. And here is another tension point one that is actually important for safety. Because moringa may help bring blood sugar down if you are already taking medication that does the same thing. Combining the two without your doctor knowing could cause your blood sugar to drop too low. Low blood sugar has its own dangers: shakiness, confusion, fainting, and worse. The same applies to blood pressure medication. If Moringa supports lower blood pressure and you are already on a prescription drug for the same purpose, doubling up without guidance could cause your pressure to fall too far. And if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, Moringa is not currently confirmed as safe. That part of the research has not been done well enough. It is better to wait. So the tension here is real. Something that seems helpful can also cause harm if used carelessly. That is true of many things in health and nutrition. It is not a reason to be scared, it is a reason to be smart. The smart move is simple. Bring this information to your doctor. Show them what you have learned. Ask whether it makes sense for your specific situation, your specific medications, your specific health history. That is not extra work. That is just good sense. Here is the good news that follows all of that caution. For most people who are generally healthy and do not have complicated medication situations, adding Moringa to a daily routine is straightforward, affordable, and low risk. Let's talk about cost first, because it matters. Moringa powder, which is the dried and ground form of the leaves, typically costs between $10 and $25 for a bag that lasts anywhere from 30 to 60 days. When you break that down per serving, you are looking at roughly 25 to 50 cents a day. Compare that to many popular supplements that cost $50, $60, or even $80 a month, and Moringa looks like one of the best value nutritional additions available. It is affordable enough that it does not have to be a sacrifice to keep up with. If you live in a warm climate, you can even grow Moringa in your backyard or in a large pot. The tree grows fast, requires little water, and the leaves can be harvested, dried, and ground at home. That brings the cost to almost nothing. For everyone else, Moringa powder is easy to find. Health food stores like Whole Foods, Sprouts, and natural grocers carry it. It is widely available online through places like Amazon, iHerb, and Thrive Market. When you are shopping, look for products that are organic if possible, clearly labeled with where the Moringa was grown. India and East Africa are the most common and reputable sources, and that have minimal added ingredients. Pure Moringa leaf powder. That is all you need. Now, how do you actually use it? The most popular way is to add a teaspoon of Moringa powder to a morning smoothie. Blend it with a banana, some spinach, almond milk, and a small piece of ginger. The Moringa powder has a mild, earthy taste, a little like matcha or raw spinach. It blends in easily and does not take over the flavor. Another easy way is to stir a teaspoon into a glass of warm water in the morning with a little lemon and honey. Simple. Takes 30 seconds. Becomes a quiet part of your routine without much effort. You can also stir Moringa powder into soups, lentil dishes, stews, or sauces. It dissolves well and adds nutrition without changing the flavor in any significant way. Some people mix it into oatmeal, yogurt, or even scrambled eggs. If the taste is not for you at all, Moringa capsules are available too. They are slightly more expensive than the powder, usually $20 to $35 for a month's supply, but they are convenient and tasteless. How much should you use? Studies that showed positive results typically used between 7 and 20 grams of Moringa powder daily. For most people, starting with 1 to 2 teaspoons a day, which is roughly 5 to 10 grams, is a gentle, sensible starting point. You can build up slowly from there. One last thing here. Moringa works best when it is part of a bigger picture. If you are sleeping well, moving your body regularly, eating real food most of the time, and managing stress, adding Moringa to that foundation may genuinely give your body an extra layer of support. If you are doing none of those things, Moringa alone will not compensate. It is one piece of a puzzle. But it is a real piece. And for the price of about 30 cents a day, it may be worth adding to yours. Before we wrap up, there is one more thing worth saying, and it is this. We live in a time when health information is everywhere. Videos, articles, social media posts, all of them telling you the next thing that will change your life. It can be hard to know what to take seriously and what to scroll past. So, here is a fair question to ask yourself about moringa or anything else you learn about. Is this too good to be true? The honest answer about moringa is no, it is not too good to be true. But it is also not a miracle. The research is real. The history of traditional use is real. The nutrient profile is real. The potential support for blood sugar and artery health is real in the sense that there is genuine scientific interest and early human evidence pointing in that direction. What is also real is the uncertainty. The science is not finished, the studies are not all consistent, and every single human body is different. What works noticeably for one person may have a smaller effect for another. That is just the nature of nutrition and plant-based health. It is not a failure of moringa. It is just the honest reality of how complex the human body is. So approach moringa the way you would approach any reasonable health habit, with patience, consistency, and realistic expectations. Give it a few months. Pay attention to how you feel. Keep your doctor in the loop. And do not expect it to do the work that only a full, healthy lifestyle can do. That is how you get real results. Not from one leaf alone, but from a whole way of taking care of yourself, and moringa being one thoughtful part of that. So let's bring it all together. You came into this video because something in the title made you curious: blood sugar, arteries, something that might help after 60. And hopefully what you found here was not hype, just real information, laid out clearly, with the good news and the honest limitations both on the table. Here is the short version of what you learned today. Moringa is a leaf from a tree that grows in warm parts of the world. People have been eating it for hundreds of years. It is packed with vitamins, minerals, and more than 90 plant compounds that seem to support the body in meaningful ways. Research suggests it may help support healthier blood sugar levels by slowing how fast sugar gets absorbed after eating, helping the body use insulin more effectively, and helping the liver manage glucose better. Research also suggests it may support artery health by protecting blood vessel walls from damage, helping blood vessels relax and stay flexible, and providing minerals like potassium and magnesium that the heart and circulatory system rely on. It costs between 25 and 50 cents per serving. You can add it to a smoothie, warm water, soup, oatmeal, or a capsule. 1 to 2 teaspoons a day is a reasonable starting point. It is not a cure. It is not a replacement for medication or medical care. And if you take any daily medications, especially for blood sugar or blood pressure, please talk to your doctor before adding moringa to your routine. But for people over 60 who are trying to be thoughtful about their health, who are looking for simple, affordable, natural additions to a good lifestyle, moringa is something genuinely worth knowing about. If this video gave you something useful today, go ahead and hit the like button. It takes 1 second and it helps this kind of content reach more people who might benefit from it. If you know someone in their 60s or 70s who is working on their blood sugar or their heart health, share this with them. A conversation that starts with a simple video can sometimes lead to a real change. Leave a comment below. Have you ever tried moringa? Have you heard of it before? Or is this completely new to you? We read every comment and we love hearing from the people who watch this channel. And if you are not subscribed yet, now is a great time. We post educational videos about healthy aging, natural wellness, and the kinds of small, consistent changes that add up to a better quality of life as you get older. No gimmicks, no selling, just information. Thank you for watching. Take good care of yourself. We will see you in the next one.